guys, what is going on? And I'm back with another video. And guys, we're doing sine, cosine, and tangent. And long time no see. It's been 2 years since I've uploaded last, and yeah, it's just been a long time. And now, of course, I'm not a 6th grader anymore, so I'm not doing 6th grade topics. So we're going to be advancing higher level topics. So we're doing some more advanced topics. So this is something you might not learn yet, but it will be helpful when you're an 8th grader, or whenever you see the topic of geometry. So this is a really useful concept. So it's trigonometric ratios. And so those are sine, cosine, and tangent. So basically what this means is these, of course, revolve around a triangle. So let's draw a triangle right here. And so this is all about what is relative to the angle. So let's say you have this angle. So let's say this is a right triangle. It doesn't really matter. But let's say this is a right triangle. This is an angle. So with that angle, you have to see sine, cosine, and tangent. So what is a good thing to learn is SOHCAHTOA. So when you learn SOHCAHTOA, opposite of this angle is the opposite side. So everything we're talking about here is going to be the side. So opposite side of this angle would be right here. So this is going to be the opposite. And the hypotenuse, which is H, is always going to be the longest side, so that side. And adjacent to this angle is the one that's right next to it, so that's obviously going to be A. So once you have all of that down, what does this mean? So this means sine is opposite over, sine of the angle. Let's say this is angle A. So sine of the angle would be opposite over hypotenuse of the triangle to find it. Cosine of the angle would be adjacent over hypotenuse, and the tangent of A would be the opposite over adjacent. So you have these three ratios, which is basically the basics of this entire trigonometric functions, their basic ratios. And so SOHCAHTOA, memorize it, study it. It's really going to help you if you know what it really is. So if we're talking in relation to this angle, of course the hypotenuse is going to stay the same, but the thing is, this side is now the adjacent and this side is now the opposite. So it all matters on what angle you are talking in relation to. And basically how you do it is you substitute the angle in here and solve for the side. You solve for the unknown side length, and we're going to get into that we're going to get into actually putting the ratios to use in just a little bit. So, I mean, these are the three ratios. Sine of A, of course, is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of A would be adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent of A would be opposite over adjacent. So basically, that's sine, cosine, and tangent, and let's go to applying it. For this one, you have cosine, and cosine is great. Pretty easy. So here, of course, relative to this, in relation to this angle, you have the adjacent and you have the hypotenuse. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up the equation like I told. So you're going to have cosine of the angle. Okay, so the angle is going to be 27 here, is equal to x, because that's going to be the adjacent. And if we remember SOHCAHTOA, ka would be adjacent over hypotenuse, and that's going to be adjacent
over hypotenuse. So now you're going to solve for x, and how exactly are you going to solve for x is the real question here. So first I'm going to calculate cosine of 27. And when I calculate cosine of 27 on my calculator, I'm going to get approximately 0.8910. So 0.8910. So you can write that down. So you're going to write that down. And I have been using a calculator because it's kind of hard to memorize each and every one. So you just enter 0.8910, and you're going to leave the x times 20. And of course, if you guys have watched my algebra videos, you know what to do here. You're going to have to distribute the x by, or you're going to have to get the x by itself. So divide by 20 on both sides because you want to eliminate the 20. Once you get rid of this, you're going to have x equaling the answer, which is going to be 17.82, and you can write units here. Doesn't really matter to me. But x, you know x now, it's going to be 17.82. And to check if you're right, my teacher taught me a very, very good trick here. So, so the smallest angle, the side opposite the smallest angle, is going to be the smallest side of the triangle. The side opposite the middle angle is going to be the middle side, so between, the length is between the other two. And the side opposite the right angle, which is obviously the biggest angle in the triangle, is going to be the hypotenuse, which is also the longest side. So that's a handy trick just to make sure that you are doing it properly. So for this one, we got 17.82 units. So now that I solved that one with you guys together, take another moment and solve this one. So using tangent, as I told you, solve this one with TOA, which is going to be opposite over adjacent. Set up the equation like I did here. It's going to be very helpful if you do that. And do it again. Okay, so next we have this triangle. I hope you guys solved it. So tan of 53 degrees, and I could put degrees, I don't really care. There. Tangent of 53 degrees, you're going to get opposite, which is going to be this one, so x. And you're going to get 12. So you have opposite over adjacent. So here again you have x over 12. And if we do exactly what we did, entering tan 53 on a calculator, we get 1.327 equals x over 12. I highly recommend picking up a calculator that has sine, cosine, and tangent functions because it's really going to help you in the future. So here, 1.327 is what that equals. And of course, we're going to do the same exact thing we did last time because we want to isolate the x. Wow, that happened. We want to isolate the x. 12. So you can get the x alone. So the final answer, if you guys got it, is going to be 15.92 units. And here I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth. I know nothing is what I'm actually saying. Like this one was rounded, this one was rounded to the nearest hundredth. So if you guys got 15.92, you are correct. And good job, guys. And this one I'm going to solve with you again. So here we have sine, and sine is going to be opposite over sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse, and when you take into account sine of 59, because that's what you're trying to find, wow, so opposite over hypotenuse, opposite, that's not the opposite, sorry, opposite hypotenuse, you have x over 17, which is, of course, the opposite over hypotenuse. Same thing, if we isolate the x here, we are going to do both sides by 17 because we want to isolate, cancel the 17, and sine 59 times 17 is going to equal 14.57 units. And if you guys want to check, of course, this is all approximately because, yeah. So we have 17.82 units, and we checked that one already. So let's check this one. 53 is going to be longer than this angle, and this is the smallest side. This is the hypotenuse, so of course it's opposite the largest angle. And this side is opposite the other angle. And then when you're talking about this side, you have opposite over hypotenuse. So of course, 59, which means this one would be 21 degrees. So medium angle, I guess middle side or something. So that would be x, and x is 14.57. So of course it's going to be longer than this one. And the side opposite 21 degrees is going to be the smallest, and we can confirm that as well. So that was basically sine, cosine, and tangent, and how to use them. So I'm going to go over one more thing because this is also kind of tricky. So let's say we get this equation. So 20 over x. What if x is in the denominator? And here, instead of solving for cosine 27, first eliminate the x. So you get cosine 27x equals 20. So now, once you have cosine 27x, you find cosine 27, so that would be 0.8910x equals 20. And what you're going to do is you're going to, of course, divide both sides by 0.8910 to isolate the x again and find out x. So you can do it both ways, but that's how to do it if they're flipped. And there is some more to do because I do want to show you how to find the measure of an angle using these three trigonometric functions. So those are the answers. If you guys got it right, great job. And that was basically a overview of sine, cosine, tangent. Hopefully this helps when you start this subject or topic or whatever. But hopefully this will help you. And that is it for me. That is it for ESP Reviews. And I am signing off. Thank you. Bye.